But for me, you know what they say, pressure makes diamond. I guess I'm better than a diamond right now. I didn't think it would come this year. I thought it would come maybe next year or the year after that. So just get it now is definitely a great achievement for sure.
Imagine breaking a record so iconic that it stood for over half a century. Now, picture doing it before your 18th birthday. That's exactly what Gout Gout, a teenage sprinting prodigy from Australia, just accomplished. His speed on the track isn't just turning heads, it's sparking comparisons to the legendary Usain Bolt. But could this rising star be the one to rewrite history and take Bolt's crown? The answer might surprise you. Number 1, early life and background. Gout Gout's remarkable journey to becoming one of the fastest young sprinters in the world began in Ipswich, Queensland, where he was born in 2007 to South Sudanese parents. His family, like many migrants, brought with them a deep-rooted sense of perseverance and ambition, seeking new opportunities in Australia while holding on to their rich cultural heritage. For Gout, these values were instilled early, shaping his outlook on hard work and discipline. As a child, Gout was full of energy, often running through local parks and school fields at speeds that quickly set him apart. His parents encouraged him to stay active, believing that physical activity could be an outlet for both discipline and self-expression. But Gout wasn't just an active kid, he had a natural gift that couldn't be ignored. His sprinting ability became apparent in primary school, where he would effortlessly outrun his classmates in races, leaving both teachers and parents in awe. At first, it was all fun and games, but things shifted when Gout entered competitive athletics. Coaches at his local track and field club quickly recognized they had a prodigy on their hands. His explosiveness off the starting block, combined with an effortless stride, mirrored traits seen in some of the sport's greatest sprinters. But what stood out most was his ability to improve rapidly, shaving seconds off his time in a matter of months. By the time he was a teenager, Gout was already making waves, competing in junior events and setting records that hinted at something bigger on the horizon. What made Gout's story even more compelling was the balance he maintained between athletics and his upbringing. Despite his early success, Gout remained grounded, a reflection of his family's emphasis on humility and education. His parents ensured that, while he pursued his dreams on the track, he stayed focused on school and remained connected to his South Sudanese roots. This foundation gave him the mental strength to tackle challenges and pressure as his talent began attracting national attention. By the time Gout reached 14, he wasn't just the fastest kid at school. He had become a national sensation, setting Australian under-16 records in the 100-meter and 200-meter events. His early milestones signaled the emergence of a once-in-a-generation talent, with experts predicting that Gout was only scratching the surface of his potential. The foundation had been laid, and the world would soon take notice. Number 2, rise to prominence. Gout Gout's rise through the ranks of sprinting was nothing short of meteoric. While most athletes slowly develop their speed and technique over years of rigorous training, Gout seemed to be on a fast track to success. By 14, he was already shattering records, earning the attention of coaches, scouts, and the Australian athletic community. His big break came when he dominated the under-16 category, setting records in both the 100-meter and 200-meter events that hadn't been touched in years. But this was only the beginning. In March 2024, at the Queensland Athletics Championships, Gout clocked an impressive 10.29 seconds in the 100-meter. This performance wasn't just a win. It was a signal that Gout had officially stepped into the spotlight of elite-level competition. The time placed him among the fastest young sprinters in Australian history, and experts began to see him as a serious contender for future international events. What separated Gout from many of his peers was not just his raw speed, but his ability to perform under pressure. While many young athletes struggle when placed in competitive environments, Gout thrived. His confidence on the track, combined with a level-headed approach, allowed him to deliver consistent results. He showed a rare ability to adjust his technique, refine his starting mechanics, and maintain a powerful stride throughout the race. As Gout's times improved, so did the comparisons to legendary sprinters. His 200-meter performance was particularly eye-catching, as it demonstrated his ability to maintain speed over a longer distance, a trait that had become the hallmark of great sprinters like Usain Bolt. With every race, Gout proved that his success wasn't a fluke. He was building momentum, and his performances were making headlines across Australia. By late 2024, Gout wasn't just a rising star, he had become a symbol of hope for Australian athletics. His ability to dominate both short sprints and longer races made him a versatile threat, and national coaches began discussing his potential to represent Australia in major events like the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics. But perhaps what excited experts the most was his age. At just 16, Gout was already running times that placed him among seasoned sprinters, and his growth curve suggested that even faster times were on the horizon. This rise to prominence set the stage for what would become a record-breaking performance in December 2024, where Gout's talent would reach new heights and place him in direct comparison to sprinting legends. But for Gout, this was just another step in a journey filled with potential, determination, and an insatiable hunger to succeed. Number 3. Record-breaking performances. December 2024 marked the moment when Gout Gout's name became synonymous with greatness in Australian athletics. At the Australian All-Schools Athletics Championships, Gout stepped onto the track with the weight of expectations on his shoulders. But instead of crumbling under the pressure, he delivered a performance that stunned the crowd and shattered long-standing records. Competing in the 200-meter event, Gout ran an astonishing 20.04 seconds, breaking the Australian national record that had stood for 56 years, previously set by Olympic silver medalist Peter Norman in 1968. This wasn't just a routine record-breaking run, it was history in the making. Gout's time didn't just erase a half-century-old national mark, it also established him as the second fastest under 18 200-meter sprinter in global history. The only other name ahead of him in that category was American sensation Erriyon Knighton, a rising star who had already competed against some of the world's best. By clocking 20.04 seconds, Gout didn't just make headlines, he ignited conversations around the world about his potential as the next major sprinting icon. But the excitement didn't stop there. His 100-meter performance at the same championship also turned heads, as he clocked a wind-assisted 10.04 seconds in the semifinals. Although this time wasn't officially recognized due to the wind exceeding the legal limit, it provided a glimpse of his future potential. Later, in the final race, he ran a legal 10.17 seconds, setting a new Australian under-18 record. These record-breaking performances placed Gout in an elite class of athletes who don't just win races, they dominate them. His ability to excel in both the 100-meter and 200-meter showcased his versatility, with experts noting that his speed endurance, power, and smooth stride made him a dual threat. Unlike many sprinters who specialize in either the short dash or the longer sprint, Gout's mastery of both events mirrored that of sprinting legends like Usain Bolt and Michael Johnson. Even more impressive was how calm and composed Gout remained after each victory. In interviews following his historic runs, he expressed gratitude for his coaches and family while emphasizing that he wasn't done yet. "This is just the beginning," he said confidently, signaling that faster times and bigger milestones were within reach. His humility, paired with his incredible athletic ability, endeared him to fans and made him a role model for young athletes worldwide. Gout's record-breaking performances weren't just individual victories, they represented a shift in Australian athletics. With a young star emerging on the global stage, the nation began to dream of Olympic medals, world championships, and the possibility that Gout could be the one to restore Australia's place among the sprinting elite. And with each race, the question on everyone's mind grew louder. How long before he challenges the world's best? Number 4. Comparisons to Usain Bolt. When you run as fast as Gout Gout, comparisons to the world's greatest sprinter are inevitable. From the moment Gout broke onto the scene, the whispers of him being the next Usain Bolt grew louder. His ability to dominate both the 100-meter and 200-meter events at such a young age naturally drew parallels to Bolt's meteoric rise during his teenage years. But it wasn't just the times Gout was posting that caught the world's attention. It was how he did it. Much like Bolt, Gout possesses that rare combination of explosive power and long strides that make running fast seem almost effortless. While Bolt's towering 6 feet 5 inches frame helped him cover more ground in fewer strides, Gout relies on a near-perfect technique, maintaining fluid motion and balance with minimal energy loss. His acceleration off the starting block and ability to maintain top speed through the finish line remind many of Bolt's early dominance, particularly when he broke records at the youth level before moving on to professional stardom. What truly fueled the comparisons was Gout's performance in the 200 meters. His time of 20.04 seconds wasn't just impressive, it was faster than Usain Bolt's under-18 time of 20.13 seconds. This achievement lit a spark in the media, with many wondering if Gout was on the same trajectory as the Jamaican legend. After all, Bolt had set world records as a teenager before going on to break global records as an adult. Could Gout follow a similar path? Experts quickly weighed in. Some believed Gout had the natural ability to challenge Bolt's legacy, citing his rapid development and mental composure as key indicators of future success. Others were more cautious, emphasizing the need for Gout to remain injury-free and continue refining his technique. But one thing was certain, Gout had the world's attention. Every race he ran was now viewed through the lens of whether he could replicate or even surpass Bolt's success. Adding fuel to the comparison was Gout's personality. Like Bolt, he's humble yet confident, carrying an air of charisma that resonates with fans. While Bolt became known for his playful pre-race antics and electrifying post-race celebrations, Gout's charm lies in his modesty and focus. In interviews, he speaks about his love for the sport, the hard work behind the scenes, and his determination to keep improving. But behind that calm exterior is an athlete hungry for success. Just like Bolt was at his age, the similarities are undeniable, but the big question remains: can Gout break through to the next level and achieve what Bolt did on the global stage? His age, speed, and work ethic suggest it's possible, but only time will reveal if Gout can transition from breaking youth records to standing atop Olympic podiums. For now, though, the comparisons are more than just hype. They're a sign that the world believes Gout might be sprinting towards something historic. Number 5. Challenges and controversies. No path to greatness comes without obstacles, and for Gout, the challenges have been more than just athletic. Despite his record-breaking performances, Gout has faced backlash, criticism, and personal struggles that highlight the weight of being thrust into the spotlight at a young age. One of the most publicized challenges came in the form of online racism. After his historic 200-meter victory in December 2024, a wave of hateful comments surfaced on social media, questioning Gout's identity as an Australian due to his South Sudanese heritage. This wasn't the first time Gout had faced such negativity. As a rising star in a country where discussions of race and identity still linger, Gout became a target for trolls who ignored his athletic brilliance and focused on his background instead. However, instead of letting the criticism break him, Gout leaned on his family and community for support. His parents, who had endured their own struggles as migrants, helped him stay grounded and reminded him that his achievements were a source of pride for both Australia and South Sudan. The controversy also sparked a larger conversation about diversity in Australian sports. Prominent athletes and public figures came to Gout's defense, praising his achievements and condemning the hateful comments. The incident shined a light on the resilience of athletes of color and the additional pressure they face beyond the track. But for Gout, it became just another hurdle to overcome. In interviews, he addressed the issue with maturity beyond his years, stating that he chooses to focus on his goals rather than be distracted by negativity. Another challenge Gout faced involved something closer to home, his name. For much of his early career, his name had been misspelled as G-O-U-T, a typographical error that stuck. The correct spelling, G-U-O-T, carries cultural significance representing his South Sudanese heritage. His family has since been working to correct the error, ensuring that the name he carries reflects his identity and background accurately. While this may seem like a minor issue, it reflects the broader struggles of maintaining cultural identity in a world that often overlooks such details. Despite these obstacles, Gout's mental toughness has remained unshakable. His ability to handle media scrutiny, online criticism, and personal challenges with grace has impressed coaches and fans alike. Many believe that his struggles off the track have made him stronger on it, providing him with the resilience needed to handle the pressures of competing at the highest level. His experiences have also turned him into a role model for young athletes, particularly those from immigrant backgrounds, showing them that success can be achieved in the face of adversity. As Gout continues to break records and rise through the ranks, his challenges serve as reminders that greatness isn't just measured by how fast you can run, it's also about how well you handle the obstacles along the way. And if Gout's journey so far is any indication, he's more than ready to overcome whatever comes next. Number 6. Future aspirations. Gout's journey is far from over. In fact, it's only just getting started. With his record-breaking performances and rising global recognition, the young sprinter is setting his sights on a future filled with milestones that could redefine his career. His next steps involve more than just faster times. They're about strategic growth, training with the best, and representing his country on the biggest stages in the world. A significant development in Gout's career came in October 2024, when he signed a sponsorship deal with Adidas. This deal isn't just a financial boost, it's a signal that major brands see him as the future of sprinting. With Adidas in his corner, Gout will have access to world-class equipment, resources, and global exposure. The deal also adds pressure, but Gout is no stranger to expectations. If anything, it seems to fuel his drive to push himself even further. One of the key moves in Gout's development plan involves training with some of the world's best sprinters. Plans are already underway for Gout to train in Florida alongside Olympic champion Noah Lyles, one of the fastest 200-meter runners in history. This opportunity will allow Gout to learn from an athlete who knows what it takes to succeed at the highest level. The training sessions are expected to focus on fine-tuning Gout's technique, improving his endurance, and enhancing his ability to maintain speed through the finish line, key elements that could help him close the gap between his current performances and world records. But perhaps the most exciting part of Gout's journey is his vision for future competitions. His primary goals include representing Australia in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics and the 2032 Brisbane Olympics, the latter of which will be held in his home country. Competing on home soil would not only give Gout the chance to perform in front of a supportive crowd, but it could also be the stage where he cements his legacy. Olympic gold medals, world championships, and even world records are all within reach if he continues on his current trajectory. Beyond the medals and accolades, Gout is also focused on becoming a symbol of hope and inspiration for young athletes, especially those from underrepresented communities. He often speaks about the importance of hard work, resilience, and staying true to one's identity, values he hopes to pass on to the next generation. His story, marked by both triumph and adversity, has already inspired many, and he sees this as an integral part of his legacy. As Gout prepares for the next chapter of his career, experts believe he's on the verge of something special. His speed, discipline, and ability to handle pressure suggest that the best is yet to come. Whether or not he eventually breaks Usain Bolt's records, one thing is certain: Gout Gout is sprinting toward a future filled with endless possibilities. And with every race, he's getting one step closer to making history. Gout's rapid rise, record-breaking performances, and resilience in the face of challenges have made him a standout in the world of sprinting. With elite training, major sponsorships, and Olympic dreams ahead, he's not just chasing Bolt's legacy, he's carving his own path to greatness. The world is watching, and Gout's journey has only just begun.